In this video, we are going to discuss how you can score better in your CS exams by using the legal maxims in your answers. Before we proceed, please download the Excel Academy app, which is the one-stop solution for all the company secretary students. It is available on the Google Play Store. The maxim that we've chosen for today is qui fecit per alium fecit per se. What does this mean? It means he who acts through another does the act himself. So this is the liability for the act of others. So an individual will be held liable for the act of another individual. So this is a liability by relation. So for a person to be held liable for the act of another person, it is necessary that there exists a relationship between two individuals. This relationship can be either of a master-servant, it can be of business partners, it can be of principal and agent, and few others. So these are some basic examples of relationship where the master can be held liable for the act of his servant. The one of the partners act, the other partners can be held liable, and for the act of the agent, the principal can be held liable. So the basic of this principle lies in that the one person can be held liable for the act of another person provided there exists a relationship between the two individuals. Let's have look at the explanation for detailed understanding. So generally, a person is liable for his own wrongful act. One does not incur any liability for act done by others. So this is the general principle that if you do a certain wrong, you will be held liable and you will not be held liable for a wrong done by certain other individuals. But there is an exception. In certain cases, that is known as vicarious liability, that is the liability of one person for the act of another person may arise. In order that the liability of A for the act done by B can arise, it is necessary that there should be a certain kind of relationship. So the basic is the relationship between A and B, and the wrongful act should be in certain way connected with certain relationship. So for A to be held liable for the act of B, there should be a relationship, and such act should be related to this relationship. So for this principle of qui fecit per alium fecit per se, so the basic is existence of a certain kind of relationship, and the wrongful act committed should be related or connected with that particular relationship. This maxim has its origin from Latin. Let's have a look at certain examples to understand the maxim better. The managing clerk of a legal firm fraudulently induced the client to transfer two properties to him. The firm will be liable for the fraud of its employee. So here there is a relationship of employer and employee, right? In this case, the employee has fraudulently transferred the properties of the client, that is nothing but a wrongful act. And this wrongful act has been done in the course of employment. Therefore, the employer will be held liable for the act of the employee. So the two criteria, that is of the relationship, that is relationship exists of employer and employee. Second criteria is that the wrongful act should be in the course of employment. So in this case, the employer will be held liable for act of the employee. Let's have a look at example number 2. Mr. A is going for a trip and therefore he leaves some of his valuables with his friend Mr. B for safekeeping. However, the same have been stolen by Mr. B's house help. Mr. B will be held liable for the loss caused to Mr. A. Here, the relationship is of master and servant, right? Master is B and servant is house help. In this case, servant has stolen the property. That is a wrongful act. So it is during the course of his employment that when he visited B for the house help, he has stolen some properties which belong to A. So in this case, B will be held liable to pay all the cost to A, because there is a wrongful act on part of the servant, and for the act of the servant the master will be held liable. So the relationship of master servant and exists, and also there is a wrongful act which has been undertaken during the course of his employment or during the course of his work. So this is another example of vicarious liability or the maxim as explained. Let's have a look at example number 3. Mr. X is a bank employee. His friend gives him a sum of rupees 40,000, say Mr. Y. Mr. X misuses the money and does not deposit it. So since the amount is not deposit, his friend Mr. Y approaches the bank for the same. Here the bank cannot be held responsible for the act of Mr. X. Firstly, because Mr. X has received the amount from Mr. Y in a friendly capacity. He was not present in the bank, and Mr. Y did not give it to Mr. X in the bank premises or when he was an employee of the bank. So the amount given by Mr. Y to Mr. X was in a friendly capacity, and there was no relationship as such which exists. So if in this case Mr. X had received the amount from Mr. Y in the bank premises, then the bank could be held liable for the act of Mr. X. But in this case, since there is no relationship and the act was outside the scope of employment, so second condition is that the wrongful act must be connected to the relationship. Right? Here, there is no involvement of the bank. It is outside the scope of employment. So since both the conditions are not fulfilling, the principle of vicarious liability will not apply, and the bank will not be held responsible for the act of X even though he is a bank employee. So this was the principle of vicarious liability, that is quesit per alium fecit per se. Vicarious liability. That is, for the act of one person, some other person can be held liable provided two conditions are fulfilled. First one, there exists a relationship between two individuals, and secondly, that the wrongful act which is committed should be connected to the relationship, or it should be in the scope of employment. So this is the basic conditions that should be fulfilled for the principle of vicarious liability or qui fecit per alium fecit per se to be applicable.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You can check for the other legal maxims in the description below. And yeah, please let us know in the comments box if you understood the legal maxim. See you in the next video with another legal maxim.